Just a quick review of how to set up a Mahara page. We'll talk a little bit about access permissions, particularly the oddly named secret URL. Say oddly named because it is in fact something you tell people about. At some point there'll also be a video walkthrough the process of Mahara, and this presentation will also be made available as the part of the general set of Mahara resources for my students. A little bit of nomenclature. Mahara calls items that can be added to a page artifacts. These can be files, video links, text, etc. The possibilities aren't quite endless, but there's plenty of scope to develop a very professional looking profile which will help you at your time at TU and also help you demonstrate your employability. Here's an example of a basic page. The page is divided into a number of areas. At the top we have information such as the title, the author and tags. Title and tags are useful when people are searching for particular types of information, and tags will be useful to you if you organise them properly to find related artifacts. Then there's a basic block of text. This can be typed directly or pasted in. The Mahara system retains all of the content you post, making it easy to reuse artifacts. We'll touch on this a bit later on. The text also includes an embedded web link. We'll discover how to do this shortly. And finally we have an image of Madrid. Okay, so to create a new page, you go to the dashboard, pull down the portfolio menu and select pages, and then you just click on the create page button. When the page editor opens, make sure you click on edit title and description. We'll look at the options a little bit later on, but we're going to start off with putting the basics in at the moment. So edit title, your tags and a brief description of the page. In display name format, you can choose how your name is shown. It's probably best to go with your full name in what is, after all, a professional format. Okay, so we save the file and then click on Edit Layout. We'll look at edit content a little bit later on, but for now it's sensible to set up your page format first. So we go to Edit Layout, which opens this window. And it's used to set up how the artifacts will be organised on the page. These are the most common options. It's up to you to experiment. There is no best way. I've chosen a 3-column layout here. When you're more experienced in Mahara layouts, you might want to look at the more advanced options. For now, we'll go back to the Edit Content tools, having set up our page in Edit Layout. Note the menu we saw earlier is also on this page, albeit without the text description. This can be used to switch between the various tools. These are the types of artifact that can be added to a Mahara page. We'll look at a couple of types here, and again you should experiment with the others yourself. The display page option can be used at any time to preview what your page will look like. So we're going to start by adding a link to a web page. There's an option called external which links to RSS feeds and other internet sources, but that's not what we want to use here. We're going to click on the text button. We shall open up a little dialog. First thing we'll ask you is where you want to place the artifact on the page. Since I've selected the 3-column layout, or 3 placeholders available. When you've got a few artifacts on the page, dialog can be very helpful, but you can also drag and drop things around and rearrange them dynamically. Okay, so the moment we're set to place our new artifact to the top left of the page. Okay, oops, go back a bit. You can also decide how the artifact will align with the placeholder. The default top of column is fine for most cases, but again you should feel free to experiment. The title is optional, however it's useful for placing artifacts on the page, especially when you have a lot of them. In the block content window, what we're going to do is type a name for the web link and then add the web link. So I've typed in Nordic Food Lab and highlighted the text. With the text still highlighted, I'm going to click on the link icon to add the web link. And this opens up this dialog. That's where you add the web link and some information about it. You paste the web link in here. Text to display and title can be different, but it's a good idea for accessibility reasons to include both. The target option lets you decide where the web link will open. You can have it open in the same window, but new window might be best to help users with navigation. So when we save the page, check our web link, And now you've created your first artifact on your first Mahara page. Click on display page, it'll show us what it looks like. Now we're going to add an image. This is very similar to the options we saw for the text artifact. Note again that the placement option includes information based on the titles of the previous added artifacts. As mentioned before, this can help in placing new artifacts on a busy page. These are the image options. The retractable option allows you to hide images under their title. You can have images open all of the time, or you can have them retracted until the user opens them. With images, it's probably a good idea to have them set to open all of the time, unless you have a lot of them. Clicking on the image option allows you to upload image files in a very familiar way. Allows you to browse the files basically. Note the maximum size of uploadable images is 23.9 megabytes. If your files are bigger than this, you need to use an image editor to reduce them in size. Try not to have too many very large images or other files. You have quite a lot of space available, but it's not unlimited. Note also in this page there are previously used artifacts stored in the directory, saving you the trouble of uploading the same file multiple times if you want to use it on more than one page. That would also save you memory as well and space. So here's my page, still in the editor, with a few artifacts. In the middle there are a number of papers hidden under their titles, and we'll have a look at what the page looks like when it's out of edit in the normal mode. So I've opened up the first PDF, and there's a full image of the PDF. You can read it. There's also an image from Nordic Food Lab, and we're going to have various other bits and pieces. Okay, so access rights. It's important to understand right at the start that you control what is seen. Your pages and the other artifacts in the pages can be seen by you, or no one else, or whoever else you want them to be seen by. So we're going to talk about setting basic access rights, and then talk about how to create the so-called secret URL. Okay, so on the edit page, we click on the share page icon. This allows you to share with a range of different individuals or groups. The simplest option is to share with everyone in TU. We should think carefully about who you want to share your pages with. In some cases, such as for assessments, you will only want to share them with module staff. Module staff, we'll talk about this, and there'll be other resources which will help you do this, published shortly in this series. Again, remember you have complete control over who can see your pages. Save your choices, and then we move to this page where you can edit access and create secret URLs. Notice that your profile page is set by default to be visible to all users of TU Mahara. Can't be seen by anyone outside unless you give them permission via a secret URL. It's probably a good idea to keep this default, but maybe think carefully about what to include in this page. You control what's visible to other people by either viewing permissions or by putting them in folders or groups, which we'll discuss in different resources for this series. But for now, we're going to click on the secret URL icon to generate a shareable link. The link's usually quite a long URL, which you will need to copy. Okay. So this is what it looks like when an external user has been given a secret URL access link. It can't be added to or edited in any way by these viewers, and does not give wider links into your TU Mahara site. The access links, as I've mentioned a couple of times, are entirely in your control. So finally, how to use the secret URL for assignments completed using Mahara, such as portfolios. Staff in the modules will talk to you about this. Basically though, what we want is the information loaded in the Blackboard, not the Mahara information itself, but a link to that. So what you'll do is create a doc file, a Word file, copy the secret URL of the file, and upload the file to the Blackboard assessment. We will still possibly expect you to give staff access to relevant pages via the various sharing options, but this does allow us to integrate this work in the Blackboard system for managing assessments. Okay, thanks very much. More later.